Welcome to the Diva T-Town. Welcome to the Diva T-Town, where bold, confident women embrace life unapologetically. From love and sex to wellness and reinvention, we keep it raw, real, and powerful. No filters, no limits. Just fearless conversations to help you thrive. Let's dive in with Diva Mia.
Well, hello, this is Diva Mia, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about feeling safe with a man. And I think the reason why women want to feel safe with a man is because it changes the whole relationship. Now, we talked a little bit about having a man that makes you feel respected, that gives you the attention you need, and also gives you security. And safety is a huge part of that security. I think people talk a lot about toxic masculinity, but masculinity is not toxic. When a man can make a woman feel safe, she can relax. I can tell you as a single mother that when a man makes me feel safe, everything changes. When you sleep next to a man that makes you feel safe, you will have the best sleep in the world. When you're around a man that makes you feel safe, your nervous system can calm down. Because we as women are constantly on guard. We're constantly looking to protect ourselves. It's kind of a crazy world out there. You never know if something may happen. When you have a mom that has her children with, she's constantly on guard trying to protect them. They call us mama bears because we're always on the protective path. But if we're with a man that can make us feel safe, we don't have to do so much and we can relax. When a woman relaxes, she then has the ability to support a man in more of a traditional role. And people complain a lot about this, saying, oh, well, women can do it all. Women can do it themselves. Yes, they can. The question is, should they? And a lot of times women that are doing it all, we get autoimmunes as we get older because we're exhausted. Maybe we were in a toxic relationship where you were with a man that you slept with for years that didn't make you feel safe. You woke up all the time. You woke up multiple times a night. That's a sign, ladies, that you're just not feeling safe or comfortable. I don't mean that a man has to physically harm you to make you feel unsafe. A man can verbally abuse you and you feel unsafe. A man can be disrespectful and you feel unsafe. You need to feel safe in every way. A true man will make you feel safe just to be yourself. He'll listen to your feelings and your dreams. It's amazing what happens when you're with a man that makes you feel safe. You feel cared for, you feel loved, and you don't fear that you're going to get betrayed. You don't fear judgment. You don't feel rejection. They made you feel safe while you're with them. It's a game changer, ladies. If you can meet a man, and I know a lot of you are new to dating, a lot of you are in relationships even, and you're with men that make you feel unsafe and you don't know what to do. It's a clue. If they can't make you feel safe, they're not a good man to be with. And I know that's going to eliminate about 50 to 60% or more of the population. But men need to wisen up. And I think a part of the problem is we as women have kept acting like we can do it all. So men don't think they have to put as much effort in. But they need to, because we're doing so much that by the time we get into our, 40s, 50s, and 60s, we're getting autoimmunes because we're physically exhausted. Our nervous system is on overdrive. Our nervous system snaps. We can't handle anymore, and an autoimmune turns, or you get cancer. We're doing too much. We're running the household, taking care of the kids, running businesses, having jobs on the side. It's too much. Plus running all the organization. It's too much. Science has actually backed this. Women that feel protected, their stress hormones go down. People that feel cherished and secure, they're not as stressed and their cortisol level goes down. You see a man and you're dating him for a while and you start gaining weight. It's a body sign that you're not feeling safe. Now, granted, if you've changed your diet, that may be a part of it too. But if you see a couple and the woman gains a lot of weight and it just does not look happy, she's not feeling safe. And that weight gain is a sign that she's stressed out. He doesn't make her feel safe. And people say, well, it goes both ways. Yes, but the man is supposed to lead. If the man is yelling at his wife, she's not going to be able to step into her femininity and support the man. She's going to be on defense always. And a woman's very good on defense. I will say we're very articulative when we fight because we don't feel safe. If you're with a man that makes you feel safe, the relationship is completely different. Your body's going to release oxytocin instead of stress cortisol hormones. When you're releasing oxytocin, you're going to feel happy. You're going to feel loved. You're going to lose weight. The weight will just fall off. But when you're with a man that stresses you, you're going to gain weight. So there's women that have been in relationships for years and they gained a lot of weight because they were stressed out. because they were always in defense mode. That's not a way to live. That's a way to exhaust yourself. And sometimes we don't even realize it. Honestly, I was with a man for decades that made me feel unsafe. And when I got out of that relationship and I met a man that made me feel safe and slept next to him one night, I will tell you, it was the best sleep of my life. And it's an amazing thing to feel safe with someone. So you no longer have to guard your heart. Honestly, when I'm with someone that makes me feel safe, it's not like I feel like they're going to trample my heart. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too, because now I've experienced what it feels like to be safe. Sometimes you feel safe with a man and you feel it right away. You can't always identify, oh, is this man going to make me feel safe? But there's signs. Do they make you feel anxious around you or when you're around them? Or do you feel calm? Do you feel at peace? Do you feel like home? If you're anxious by the third date, the first date, there might be a little bit of anxiousness, but by the third date, if you're still anxious, it's probably not a good sign. Your body is giving you clues that this is not a safe situation. Do they push you when you don't want to be pushed? Do they try to make moves on you when you say no, they keep going? That's going to make you feel unsafe. If you question where you stand and maybe they're not texting you or they ghost you for a few days, that's going to make you feel unsafe, ladies. It's not a man that understands women. And if they don't understand women and our needs for safety, they're going to be aloof. They're not going to really care. They may be like, oh, they might be dating multiple women, and men that date multiple women don't really make women feel safe. Do you feel assured when they reach out, when you talk to them, or do they try to play with you or manipulate you? That's when they do that, guys that manipulate, they think they're getting the leg up, but they're actually turning away all the women that want to feel safe. Quite frankly, the women that want that safety, they're the healed ones, because we know what we're looking for. So if men are out there trying to gaslight you or manipulate you and you're healed, you're just going to say, no, thank you, and walk away. And we do. Then men are stuck with the people that are unhealed or a little unhinged, because there's unhealed and unhinged women out there. We all know that, because they're losing the good ones because they don't have the ability to make a good one feel safe. So if you keep finding that as a man, you're dating women that are just not right, you may need to look at yourself, and are you making women feel safe? Because if a man makes a woman feel safe, he can have any woman within his realm. Are their actions aligning with their words? I met a man that I felt safe with, and it was nice because he always showed up on time for the date. It's never late. That made me feel safe because his actions aligned with his words. If he said he was going to call, he called. If he said he was going to text, he texted. His actions always aligned with his words. So that's a man that will make you feel safe. So safety is not just about he's a big, tall guy that can beat someone up. You can feel safe with a small man. You can feel comfortable with a small man. And a lot of it comes from the man. If the guy's anxious and nervous all the time, you're not going to feel safe. You're going to feel his anxiety. So you have to settle your nervous system, and his presence should be settling yours. It really should. It's his job to stay calm so that you can feel calm. And when you have a man that walks in and is cocky and talking to everyone else and looking around the room, that's not going to make you feel safe, because you're going to think he's a womanizer. He's with multiple people. The reality is men keep saying we're all the good women. The good women are just tired of being with men that don't make us feel safe. This is the foundation for every relationship. Emotional safety, physical safety, spiritual safety, financial safety. If a man's wants to go 50-50 on the bill, how is he going to be able to support you and your family? If a man doesn't want to work out, how's he going to live with you? How are you going to be able to work together and have an active lifestyle? So that's a safety concern, whether you think it is or not. Emotional safety, does he yell at you a lot? Does he put you down? Does he make fun of you? Does he disrespect you? If he doesn't give you emotional safety, you're out the door. Really? Because that is their job, to just give you love and to give love back. When we reciprocate love back, it's way more than we receive. I will say the love that women give to men tends to be way stronger than the love we receive. But the safety a man gives you is worth all the love you give back. And there's also spiritual safety. So spiritual safety can be do you feel safe in their presence? Do you feel, if you're religious, do you feel safety with their spirit? Do you feel like they're an honest, ethical person? Honestly, that's part of it. Do you feel like they financially could help support you and the family if you needed support? I'm not saying that doesn't mean you work. You can still work. The question is, if you're going to have children with a man, he's going to have to support you for a while you have babies. Can they even do that? If you're a man, that's your job. If you're a man, that's your role. Most men don't realize that. They're like, I want to go 50-50 on everything. No, a woman's sacrificing her body to have children. because it changes us. We give up a lot when we have children. Don't get me wrong, we gain a lot too. But we're going to be overly bent when we have children. We're going to be exhausted, emotionally, physically, spiritually, completely exhausted. If a man can't support you and make you feel safe when you have children, it's a very stressful time for a woman. It's going to be even more exhausting. You'll feel like you're walking on eggshells around a man that doesn't make you feel safe. You're not going to trust him. Your intimacy is going to be short-lived. You won't even feel safe having sex with them. And you don't really have genuine love with people that make you feel unsafe. You may think you do, but the reality is if they make you feel unsafe, you can't fully love a person that does that. This is where the conversation of masculinity comes in. I know there's a lot of discussion around toxic masculinity, but toxic masculinity is not a strength. Masculinity is. Being toxic is not masculine. It's not feminine either. There's toxic women. And the reality is, we've got kind of a distorted image of what a man should be. We kept thinking that man needs to, lay down for women. Men need to be more cooperative. Men need to, no. A man doesn't need to be controlling, but a man should be leading. Then a woman can truly step into her feminine power because femininity is a power. When we're able to relax, we stay in shape easier. We can be more nurturing to men, to children. It changes the whole paradigm. It's a shift. Instead of focusing on the negative, which a lot of people do, negative men, negative, relationships, let's shine the spotlight on the good men out there. The ones that aren't selfish, the ones that aren't hurt and abandoned and taking it out on women. And if you keep having the same women over and over again, it may be because you need to look inward. Because you're not making women feel safe, because women that don't feel safe, they leave. The ones that don't really care, they're not really healed. They're not mature, and they might be a little crazy too. They might just take anything they can come by. So if you want a high quality, high value woman, you're going to have to make her feel safe. You're going to have to learn to respect your women, to not scream at your women, to not yell at them at all. Why raise your voice? Men that are actually truly masculine, they have respect just because of who they are. They don't need to yell to get respect. They don't need to push women around. They don't need to fight women. They get respect just by their masculinity. Instinctively, a man's job is to protect. It's to offer kindness, protect, and support of women. And men that open doors and have chivalry, that's a sign of respect. Men that listen to women and treasure the woman they're with, and that's a sign of respect. And if you're a man that's checking out other women when you're with your woman, that's going to take away the feeling of safety. Not like every man is perfect, but you will find that men that make you feel safe have the majority of these qualities that we keep talking about. Because if a man has West syndrome or wandering eye syndrome and keeps checking out every woman that walks by, can't maintain eye contact or focus on you, you're not going to feel safe. It's going to cause you to be insecure. And it's going to cause you to feel like, what the heck is going on? Am I not good enough for this man? No, he's making you feel unsafe. That's what is truly happening. A man's role shouldn't be to dominate women. It should be to make them feel safe. And when you make women feel safe, you can write your ticket. You will find that you can date well above your station if you make a woman feel safe. Because once a woman's nervous system is calm and relaxed, her heart will open up. She'll trust you. She'll love you deeper than you've ever been loved. Women can love very deeply. In fact, I think we may love deeper than the men love us. The relationship will thrive just because you made her feel safe. So let's talk a little bit more about, we're going to change gears a little bit, and what happens when a woman feels safe. So reciprocally, a woman's going to give respect back. When a man respects her, doesn't take her for granted, she's going to give him respect back, probably more than she actually received. She's going to constantly encourage man to thrive. She's going to be his support person. She's going to love him more than he's ever been loved. And men respond to women's femininity. It allows a woman to be rest and be soft, nurturing, take care of herself, be creative, and care, which is magnetic. When a woman's truly in her femininity, it's completely magnetic. A strong man can be receptive and nurturing to women. It creates this sense of harmony between a man and a woman. There's loyalty and trust that exists too. I think loyalty and trust is one of the most important things. If a man truly loves a woman, he's not going to step out and cheat on her. I'm sorry for any of you that have stepped out and cheated on people. It's going to make women feel unsafe. If you've got a history of doing it, you're going to make people feel unsafe. If you've done it in the past, you really need to go to therapy and figure out why. Because you're not really going to have a deep, true relationship until you can figure out why and stop blaming the partner. Because people that cheat, it's on them. It's not on the people they're with. That's the reality. Why did you feel so insecure that you needed to cheat? Because loyal, dependable women are hard to come by too. So when you damage those relationships and women that trust you, it's kind of mean and vindictive. So realize that a man that's going to make you feel safe is going to be a man that's not a cheater. A man that's going to make you feel safe will allow you to lean on him and trust him. And he'll show loyalty in return and you'll show loyalty back. The mutual trust is like glue. Those are relationships that are really deep. Now, I'm not saying that just because a man makes you feel safe, but just because a man makes you feel trusting, you're going to have a perfect relationship. But it's the basic foundation for all relationships. And a woman's gift is to provide peace to the man. So if a man makes her feel safe, she can provide peace back because her nervous system is calm. She's not insecure. She feels respected. So when she gives love back, it's very peaceful for a man. So men, if you truly want peace, you need to harness the ability to make a woman feel safe. It doesn't mean silence or obedience. It just means that she's giving you a loving home. She gives you warmth when you need it. She gives you support. And she's your refuge, and she's loving. When a man knows he's respected and trusted and encouraged by the woman he loves, he will fight the world for her. But it always starts with the man. And men put a lot on women. Oh, my woman wasn't nice enough or whatever. But did you give her the respect and the love and the safety she needed? Now, I'm not saying there's not bad women out there. There's a lot of damaged women, just like there's a lot of damaged men. But if you truly want to attract the high quality women, you're going to have to start here. A good quality man will never stop protecting women. And they will protect women they don't even know. I've seen it in subways where people have come to the rescue of women in need. I've seen it walking down the street where a woman is getting accosted by a man and men step in. Those are the men that will make women feel safe. They do the right thing even when it's not popular. They protect women from other men. Because men, if you're hitting a woman or yelling at a woman, you're off base. Because women should be made to feel safe. You can say, well, it's her fault. She started it. But honestly, most women never start. Most women defend. Our role naturally is to honor, to give respect, to give loyalty and encouragement. That's how we are. We are very loving by nature. Now, some women may be damaged from past relationships, but it's their job to heal, just like it's your job to start learning how to provide safety. And when both sides fulfill their roles, it's a deep partnership. It's a power couple. You know, it's built on mutual trust and mutual devotion. We need to work on what does it take for a man to make a woman feel safe. And safety comes by the things they do. It's the little things. So when a man is loving to a woman, she's going to feel safer. What does it truly mean to be a man? Beyond money, muscles, or status, what does it truly mean? A man needs to show respect and chivalry to women. When a man can be chivalrous, that goes a long way. I don't think every man constantly makes every woman feel safe. There's going to be days where there might be some issues. But if you can 90 to 95% of the time make your woman feel safe, you're going to have a nice, long, loving relationship. So let's talk a little bit about chivalry, because I think we've lost a lot of this. And I will tell you, the men that are chivalrous, they get a thumbs up from me on first dates, and I will date men that I may not even be fully attracted to if they're chivalrous, just because they make me feel safe. They give me respect and attention, and that security feeling is amazing. They will stand out above other men. So let's say you're not the best looking guy, but boy, you know how to treat a woman and make her feel good. You're going to get better looking women. You're going to get better quality women. A man's job is just to make us feel safe physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So chivalry carries above or does above all of those things. Remember, masculinity is not dominance. It's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to treat women with masculinity and treat them with respect. Historically, men's job has been to be a protector. If you can protect women, that goes a long way. Your job is to be a provider, financially and in other ways, and to be a leader. Women, we need to follow, especially in our homes. I'm saying you can't have a job where a woman's a CEO. All I'm saying is having a leader, a man that's a leader in the house, changes the whole dynamic. A woman can follow. She can turn off her nervous system and relax because she's busy taking care of everything and everyone. If you have a leader at home, it gives you the ability to relax a little bit. It's a more of a balance for equality in the home. The misconception is that there's toxic and healthy masculinity. I think masculinity is fine. I think there's toxic people. But a core value for someone that's a good masculine man is to have integrity. And women, we need to start teaching our children more about integrity, honesty, loyalty, ethics, values. That's integral to everyone, and integrity is so important. It's a core foundation for man. If you don't have integrity, a woman's not going to feel safe with you, period. And if you're around cheating or dating multiple women, you don't have integrity, and women won't feel safe. And women sometimes don't even know, but we feel it in our bodies that there's something off. And strength is important. Now, strength doesn't necessarily mean that you can bench press 500 pounds. Strength means that when she needs you, you're there. You're there to support her. She should be your rock as much as you should be hers. And are you consistent? Consistency is crucial. If you're not consistent in a relationship, it won't matter, because consistency says whether or not you gave a damn enough to show up. So you got to be consistent in your relationships. And then you have to show her respect. When you show a woman respect, she will show you respect back. And if she doesn't, she's not a high quality woman, and it's a good sign for men to walk away. So respect is crucial. And I'm saying to the men out there, if you can up your game, you're going to up the women that you date. And I think men want to date better women, because I hear a lot, oh, the women out there are crazy. No, they're not crazy. The women that are smart enough, they don't want to date you because you don't make them feel safe. So you keep attracting the crazy because you're not at the level of other men. And yes, money does matter and appearance does matter. But I will tell you that if a guy has a lot of money and is gorgeous and he makes me feel unsafe, it doesn't matter how much money he has. I'll walk away. So you also have to have the ability to take responsibility for your actions. If you blame other people, ladies, if you're on a first date and all they're doing is blaming their ex-wife, that's a bad sign. That's a sign either they're not healed or they're disrespectful. Because men that actually are honest will realize there's goods and bads in all relationships. And when we know that, but they need to take accountability and responsibility for their roles. And if a man cheated on his spouse or his girlfriend, it's a sign that he may cheat on you. And if he hasn't gone into a lot of therapy and to figure out why he had that trait and low integrity to actually disrespect a wedding vow and cheat on his spouse, and if he starts blaming her for the reason he cheated, that's just walk out the door right there and then. I mean, it's not even worth your time to finish dinner, because men that blame their spouses for cheating are about the most ridiculous men, just like women that blame their spouses for cheating. The responsibility is on the person that cheated, okay? And nothing your spouse did or could have done caused you to cheat. You cheated because you chose to and because you were too weak to go and get a divorce. So remember, that's the most disrespectful thing a person can do to their spouse. So if they're doing that, and then blaming their spouse, it's about as ridiculous as possible. And that's the biggest red flag you will ever see. But respect comes from listening, from valuing others' opinions, from not belittling or undermining people. You have to remember that respect is crucial. It's a core foundation to any relationship. So we have respect, attention, and security, which is also safety. And if they can give you the attention you need, emotionally present, and they communicate, if you ask them to text you and they text you back when they say they're going to, that's the attention you need. And it also shows a level of respect. If they belittle you or they try to make fun of you or gaslight you or manipulate you, that's a sign of disrespect, and you're not going to feel safe with that person. Security includes safety, includes protection. It includes financial stability and safety and emotional stability. You need all of those in order to feel safe. And they may not have all of them right away, but if they're headed in the right direction, it might be a sign. Now, don't try to change someone and reinvent them, but there are different stages of people's lives. So let's say somebody gives you safety, a feeling of safety, and they protect you. And maybe their finances are headed in that direction. They're not quite there, but at least they're working towards it. That's a sign that might be worth somebody to give a chance to, because you want somebody that makes you feel safe financially so that, you're safe when you have children. Any man that wants to go 50-50, again, it's a man that doesn't have integrity, and it's a man that doesn't want to have a balanced relationship, because a balanced relationship is not 50-50, because the guy's role is to provide safety, because you're going to provide care and consideration for the children. You're going to take care of the house. You're going to take care of all that. Now, I'm not saying you can't work. Just remember that that's not your primary focus. And it can be if you choose for not to not have children or whatnot, but there's still a balance in the home. A man who ignores his wife and doesn't listen, she's going to feel unsafe. A man who shows up inconsistently, is late all the time for dinner, even if you're married, you're taking away a woman's feeling of safety. So remember that. These are not luxuries. These are baseline requirements. I'm not even talking about you look really good in a suit or, you smell really good. This is basic stuff, guys. Most guys don't provide the basics. That's why there's so many women that are at home and not dating anymore, because most men don't even provide the basics. It's not that hard. So let me cover some of the things with chivalry that can help you get a leg up when you're dating to give a woman a sense of safety. Because chivalry is defined. It gives a woman respect and kindness. And it shows a level of protective instincts in action. Because when a man is chivalrous, he's showing that he's respecting her and he's also protective of her because she's valuable. When a man opens a door for you, you're valuable to him. It's not only kind, it's so respectful. When he walks on the street side, when you're walking next to him, and men, if you don't know these things, take notes and start doing them. If he's always walking on the street side to make sure you're protected, it's a protective instinct and she feels protected and safe. If he's checking in to make sure you're home safe when you get home, that's a very chivalrous thing. Says, text me when you get home. That makes you feel safe. And when he pays attention to your small comforts, I went on a date with a man that was extremely chivalrous. He wasn't typically the type of guy I would usually date, but he was a wonderful man and always opened the car doors for me. In fact, I wasn't even used to it. So I was a little uncomfortable at first, but it made me feel safe. And then I went for dinner with him. And when I was drinking water, because I don't drink, and he would always fill up my water glass because we got bottled water and he'd fill up my water glass whenever it got empty. And then when I went to the bathroom, he would stand up. And when I came back, he would stand up and push in my chair. And he would always make sure I was taken care of. That was probably one of the most chivalrous men I had ever met. Typically not the guy I would date, but I dated him a lot because I felt so safe and respected with him. And when it felt unsafe, when he wasn't texting like he said, then things kind of split. But when it was good, it was amazing. I wish him the best, and I will always respect him as a man because of the way he respected me and cherished me. It made me feel valued. It made me feel safe. It made me feel loved. And it was an amazing experience. I will never trade for anything because now I know what I'm looking for. Chivalry is not weakness. It's not control either, ladies. It's honoring you, and it's so respectful. And when you receive it, oh my gosh, do you want to give it back? I will say I will never disrespect him. I will never be dishonorable because he was so sweet and genuine with me. And remember that you have to find a man that will reciprocate your energy. And I will say when a man is chivalrous, it changes the whole environment. There's like a psychological feeling to it because that level of safety and security you don't get from a man that, makes you open your own car door, that walks ahead of you when you're trying to go somewhere and doesn't even pay attention that you showed up, that you go to the bathroom and doesn't even notice you're gone, pays no attention. That's about as unsafe as you can feel because if something bad happened, you'd be in a bad situation. So chivalry builds trust and builds admiration of the man because when a man is chivalrous, you admire them. You can't stop thinking about them. And men, honestly, if you started doing this, any woman you want would stick around. Even if you're not as good looking as she usually dates, even if you're not as tall or strong or anything else, that level of chivalry, it deepens love and loyalty towards you. So the chivalry that you're giving, you're going to get back tenfold. It also shows that you're a leader. When you're a chivalrous man, it shows that you're leading the woman and it shows so much respect in that relationship. It's not controlling, it's guided care. It's taking her and guiding her the way that she deserves, as well as protecting her. I will say that respect I will give back to any man that's chivalrous with me. I will always give them a chance over men that aren't. Now that I've seen it in action, I felt the feeling of being with a man that was chivalrous, I will say I really want that going forward. Now, men of character and that are chivalrous, there you can find my church. At faith-based areas. Sometimes they volunteer. A lot of them are business professionals, but you can find a chivalrous cowboy or you could find a chivalrous plumber. They're not usually on the dating apps. They're not usually at bars. Chivalrous men are genuine. They're true. They're good people. One of the things with chivalrous men is, do they have good character? Do they listen when you talk, or is he rushing? Does he push intimacy, or does he follow your lead at what you're able to do? Does he show up when he says he will? And if he's late, does he apologize and make up for it? You can spot fake gestures with genuine care. You really can. Fake gestures aren't good. Genuine care is someone that's loving and caring. And it's amazing to find a man that's chivalrous. It really is. They're few and far between, but boy, ladies, when you find them, that you'll also notice that they date the best looking women. They have the ability to date women way above their station just because of the way they treat women. It's not degrading to a man. You're going to have better relationships once you learn chivalry, men. You will. You can ask them what respect means to them, but honestly, you can tell within 5 minutes if a man's chivalrous. I'm raising my children to be chivalrous because I know that they will find better quality women that treat them with respect and have better relationships when they're chivalrous. When a man is chivalrous, he's not going to yell at you when you have a disagreement. He's going to have a conversation because he's going to respect you at all times, just like it will allow you to respect him at all times. It's kind of like, what role do you think a man plays in your relationship? Well, the man should be the leader. He should be in charge. He should be the one that's driving the relationship. If you find that you're constantly in conflict with a man, it's because he's not leading you and he's not showing you safety. Any man that has to control you is not a chivalrous man. Any man that dismisses your concerns is not someone that's going to make you feel safe. So just remember that we're looking for a man that will make you happy, that will make you satisfied. Inconsistent communication is another one. If they're not going to talk to you often, what's the point? Are they dating multiple people? You have to realize that inconsistent communication is a red flag as well. So have your list of things you want, but try out a chivalrous man and see what happens. See how you feel. See how it calms your nervous system. It will be a wonderful thing. But you should test their consistency, because if a man is one way in the beginning and then within 4 weeks they completely drop off, that's going to be the way it is. Unless you're looking for less attention, most women walk away at that point. It depends on, I don't recommend sleeping with a man on the first date, second date, or even the third date. Take your time. Make sure they're consistent before you do anything. Then you'll align with the right person that gives you respect and security, which matches your values. So physical safety is not a threat. It's a man's way of protecting you. You can be vulnerable without judgment when you feel physically and emotionally safe. You can talk to them about your fears and your concerns. You can be open, you can be honest and truthful. And they're keepers, ladies. I will say, when you find one that makes you feel safe, they're a keeper. Especially if you find someone that makes you feel safe and is chivalrous and honors, respects you, gives you the attention you need and all the security you need. It's a keeper. So there is so many things involved, but these core values, I think, are non-negotiable. At least they are for me. Because now that I've seen it and felt it and know what it is, I don't want to go back. I'm not going to go back to a man that's disrespectful. I'm going to walk out the door. Language has a lot to do with it. If you have a man that's constantly got a potty mouth, it's disrespectful. It is. At our age, if someone has to cuss every other word, they're either not educated or just disrespectful. It's a sign. Realize that the way people speak to you, it's disrespectful sometimes. Does a man walk you to the car when you're driving away? Does he open your car door? Is he respecting you? Does he support you in public, or does he try to embarrass you? Does he encourage you? Those are things that a real man would do. A man that's not good for you will disrespect you in public. A man that's not good for you will put you down in front of others, will gaslight you, will make it all about them. And that's also a sign of narcissism, ladies. Believe me, you don't want one of those. Remember, you don't have to be disrespected. You can find someone that treats you like gold, the way you need to be treated. A man doesn't disappear in a time of crisis. He shows up. A man that respects you will be there when you're hurting. A man that respects you will listen to you, not just talk nonstop. So I encourage women to interview men when they start dating. It's more of an interview. It's not there for them to interview you, because we get to choose the men we get to be with. Men get to choose as well, but we usually have the leg up on choices. Gentlemen, they should understand that women needs are not excessive. If they want to balance the feeling of peace that they're going to get from a woman, you're going to have to give women too. It's a give and take relationship. So besides being chivalrous, you need to learn to respect her boundaries, because her boundaries are there not as a sign of disrespect for you, but they're there to protect her. So her boundaries are there and they're solid, and you shouldn't try to push them. If she tells you she has boundaries, don't try to push them, because that's a sign of disrespect and it makes her feel unsafe. You should lead with consistency. If you're going to lead a woman, don't be wishy-washy. Make a decision and go for it, and then keep it that way. I'm not saying you can't ever change your mind, but you need to be consistent for the majority of the time. There's a book called Emotional Intelligence. I think every man and woman out there should read it. It's a book that teaches you how to be more mature, how to show up, how to respect other people, how to value your relationships. And all of this works as well with friends, guys. If you're friends with people and you're disrespecting them and you're not consistent or respecting their boundaries, you're going to lose friends. Then practice chivalry every day. Practice it with friends. If you have a friend that's a girl that you're not dating, learn to be chivalrous. There's lots of books out there on chivalry and how to treat women in different situations. My children will always open the doors for all women. I've trained them for that. They will open my car door. I even have my youngest 9-year-old that escorts me to and from the car. And it always walks on the side of the road. It's so funny. It makes me a little nervous, honestly, but it's so funny. But he's already turning into a strong, loyal partner for someone. I can't wait to see who he marries because they're going to be magnificent. Because I know that he's going to be a chivalrous man that treats women with respect and shows up. He's going to pay attention to her and he's going to be loving. Don't lower your standards just because the choices you've had, you haven't found someone yet. These requirements, it's the bare minimum, ladies. And if you're not finding someone in the pond you are in, for say, then go jump into a new pond. Get out of the pool or the pond you're in, because maybe you're too big of a fish for such a little pond and you need to go, it's time to upgrade or level up. And you need to learn how to say no and walk away with respect. Even if someone else is disrespecting you, I've had that happen many times, where men have been disrespectful. They ghosted me or they were rude. And I just walk away with respect. I don't ghost back. I let them know why, and then I walk away. I think ghosting is the worst thing people can do. If you don't like someone, just tell them, hey, not into you, or I'm not feeling it because of the X, Y, and Z, but I wish you the best, and leave it be. Because when people are disrespecting you, they're not making you feel safe. Don't confuse lust or chemistry with true alignment. Alignment means that you're balanced on all levels. It may be that, this person's super chivalrous. He gives you safety, he gives you peace, and you align, which you may not have aligned had he taken away the chivalry or the respect. But you'll see patterns within the first month. If people constantly say, let's meet here, and every single time they show up late, that's disrespectful. And if they haven't learned that by now at 30, 40, or 50 years old, you're not going to train an old dog, no matter what. And if they can't give you the respect to show up on time when they say they're coming, then you're just going to have to realize they're going to be a disrespectful person. Do you really want that in your life? I encourage all women to raise your standards. I encourage you to. Chivalry is not dead. It lives in the choices that men make every single day. I know I flew into an airport in Mexico, and it was a flight that went through Texas. And so there were a lot of Texans on it. So there was a layover in Texas and got off in Mexico, and 2 cowboys. I'm not super dainty, but I'm a petite woman. And the guys said, can we help you with your bags, ma'am? And they had no idea who they were. I said, yes, that would be lovely. Thank you so much. And I got my bags off. I didn't have to lift them. I carried them out of my car, but I just had my nails done. And it was kind of nice to have someone get my bags off of at the baggage claim. Men that are chivalrous will show you respect, and women that they don't even know respect. They will see a man being mean to a woman and they will protect her. That's just the way it is. So I think we need to dive deep into that. A lot of people confuse masculinity with aggression, but it's not. It's responsibility and it's protective. Historically, men have always been the protectors and the providers because there will always be bad people out there. There will always be bad men. There will always be bad women. And you have to realize that. But don't attract the bad men. Don't attract the bad women. Attract the ones that align with you. And in order to get yourself to that alignment, you need to work on you, not the other person. We are not asking for excessiveness. We are asking for a man to step into his greatness. We're not measuring you by your money. We're measuring you by your character, by your value, by what you bring to a relationship. So remember, this is what women want. This is what women look for. If you're finding women that don't respect your chivalry, well, then you're with the wrong woman. You're with a low-quality woman. You're with a woman that's over-the-top feminist because she thinks she has to be, but doesn't really know who she is and hasn't really realized that it's nice to let a man treat her with respect and dignity. Going forward, all I recommend is that you allow a woman to be a woman. You treat her with dignity and respect. And men, if you can calm her nervous system and make her feel less anxious, you will get all the love you ever wanted. This is Diva Mia. I hope this helped you out today. Signing off. Take care and have a wonderful week.
Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment. We'd love hearing from you. Visit thedivadetails.com to connect. See you next week for more.
Diva Details podcast and website are intended solely for informational and entertainment purposes. The content provided does not constitute professional, medical, financial, or legal advice. We are not licensed medical practitioners, financial advisors, or legal professionals. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Any financial topics discussed are based on personal opinions and experience and should not be considered professional advice. The content provided does not constitute legal advice. The Diva Details and its affiliate contributor and guests are not liable for any losses or damages arising from the use of our content. The opinions expressed in the podcast are solely those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of any affiliated organization, sponsors, or partners. All facts discussed in the podcast are researched and accurate to the best of our knowledge at the time of recording. Information may change over time. No guarantees are made regarding the accuracy, completeness, or reliability of any statements or opinions presented. It is the responsibility of the listener to verify any and all facts that may influence their decision. This podcast is for information and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered professional advice.